So today we're going to learn about a new graph, and it's called our box, just like what you should think about a box, and whisker. So I like to think of the little raccoon right down here, and it has its little whiskers. Okay. So a box and whisker plot. And what that is, it's a data display that organizes data values into 4 parts. So the 4 parts, if I have 100% of my data, it's going to break it into 4 equal parts, percentage-wise. So let's take a look at this. We have a number line, and looks like we have our lowest number is going to be 23, and then our highest number is going to be 63. So let's just focus on this data, or the number line real quick. So again, we get a whole bunch of numbers. We want to organize them in an efficient way. So we organize from least to greatest. And then we want to represent that data somehow. And sometimes it's best to represent using a box and whisker plot. And I think these are kind of fun to make after you understand exactly what's going on. So here we go. 100% of the data, all right here. I'm going to break it into 4 parts. So 4 parts, think a dollar, break it into 4 parts. We have a quarter. So I have 25% of my data is represented between 23 and 38. Another 25% is represented from 38 to 49. And we got 25% of the data squished in here between 49 and 52. And then 25% of the data is going to be between 52 and 63. And this is just a sample. It's going to be different depending on what data you use. But just notice that 100% of my data is being displayed between all 4 parts. Okay, and so you're like, I don't know how to do that. Calm down. You'll be okay. We're going to learn about what all these fancy words are. The lower quartile. Oh, you should know the median, the upper quartile, and the lower extreme and the upper extreme. You'll get that too. Pretty self-explanatory. But again, I think these are fun to draw. So breaking it into quartiles means that it's 4 equal parts. And remember our clue, like a quadrilateral, 4 sides, where, like a quad, if that has 4 tires. So that's our clue that it's in 4 equal parts. The first thing, we need 5 pieces of data, and that's why I have his little hand up here for 5. We need 5 pieces of data in order to plot. So we have what we call the lower quartile and the upper quartile. So the lower quartile is the median, is the middle number of the lower half of the data set. So you're like, okay, well, the median is the middle of my whole entire data set. So if I break my data in half, right down the middle, the median of the lower half is going to be called the lower quartile. So again, it'll make sense when we do an example and find some real data that we collected. We'll use the data that we collected for the jumping jacks, hopping on 1 foot, and saying the alphabet. And then we have our upper quartile. So that's the median of the upper half of the data set. So it's the middle of the upper half. So that's 1 piece of data, 2 pieces of data. And then we have the interquartile range. That's not really the necessary part of the 5 data sets, but basically what that is just another fancy thing to have you write down. So it's the difference between the upper quartile and the lower quartile. It is the range of the middle half. So I'm just going to go back a couple of slides so you can see what that means. Again, pause the slide, take a deep breath, it'll be okay. And so here we go. So we have our range that we already really know how to get. So that's 23 and 63. So to get my range, I subtract my high number, subtract my low number. So my range of data is 40. So all of my data is distributed within 40, from 23 to 63. Now, that fancy definition that they just gave you, the interquartile, is your lower quartile and your upper quartile. So let's look at that. So we have 38 and 52. So the interquartile range is going to be 52 minus 38. And I'll borrow from this guy. You could always add up as well. That could help. 38 add up to 52. So let's just say 12 minus 4, or 12 minus 8 is 4, so 14. So let's just stop and think of what this means. We have 100% of our data. 25% here, 25% here, 25% here, 25% here. Our interquartile range is from 38 to 52. So this means that 50% of my data is represented just between 38 and 52. So probably not quite a lot of data out this way. Oh, well, we know it's 25%, but maybe not a lot out at 23. So 50% of my data is represented between my interquartile range. All right, so calm down. The lower extreme, just the smallest number in the data set. And you're like, whew, I can figure that one out. And again, we abbreviated LE for lower extreme. Upper extreme is just the greatest number. So that's again how we find the range. We take our high, subtract the low, and you get your range. So here's what we need to do. There's a couple steps. First thing we need is to order the data to find the median, the lower quartile, upper quartile, lower extreme, and upper extreme. So again, when we did the 5, that's where the raccoon was raising the 5 fingers. So we need to plot the values on a number line, and the numbers that we're plotting are going to be these 5. So that's all you need to do is just plot 5. We're going to draw a box with sides at both quartiles. We're going to draw a vertical line through the median, and then we're going to draw those whiskers from the box to both extremes. So again, pause, write this down, and this is why a lot of people like to represent the data with a box and whiskers, because all you need to do is find 5 values, plot the 5 values, and you got a graph. So we'll go back to that chargers example that we had in 11.1. So we have our 5 pieces of data that we need to get. The first one is going to be the median. So the median, remember, the most important thing to do is order. When somebody throws you data, you need to organize it. So I'm going to organize it from least to greatest. So 1, 2, oh, sorry. See, I almost did that. I just copied it almost just like it was. Here we go. So 1, 1 takes care of this guy, then I have a 2, a 3, a 3, a 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 14. So to find the median, again, I like to sing a little song with it. 1 from the left, 1 from the right, 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 1 from the left, 1 from the right. And I'm not sure where my southern accents come from. Anywho, our median is 4. So right smack in the middle of our data is going to be the number 4. So this is what I like to do. When you find your median, I want you to box it out like that. So you're saying, okay, these guys are not included. Like you have your median, you cut the data in half. So then I'm going to find my lower quartile. So that's the median of Well, let's change this to blue. That's going to be the median of this lower set of data. Here's my data right here. So one from the left, one from the right, one from the left, one from the right. Oh, now we got our lower quartile, which is 2. Now I need my upper quartile, and I have my 50% of the data. So upper quartile, here we go. One from the left, one from the right, one from the left, one from the right. And here's our upper quartile. It's the median of the upper half of the data. Now, the lower extreme, well, we already ordered it from least to greatest, so that's pretty quick to find. And then our upper extreme is 14. All right, so again, we will be taking some of the data that we collect. So I'm going to draw my number line. Hopefully your line is straighter than mine. I know that my lower extreme was 1. And then my upper extreme was 14. So I'm just going to go ahead and plot that out. You could change your increments depending on what it is. If it was like up to 50, I'm not going to make 50 marks, but it's only 14. So I can draw those out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now I'll go and double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14. All right, so we have our number line that represents our lower extreme and our upper extreme. And then we had our median was 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to put 4 right here. And I'll just make an M for the median. And then our lower quartile was 2. And then our upper quartile is, I think it was 6. Now let's go back and double check. Yep, 6. So 4, 5, 6. That's the upper quartile. So this is how we're going to graph it. We're going to draw a line at the median, another line at the lower quartile, another line at the upper quartile. And now here's your little box right here. And it might not be that exact same order, but I like to draw this box first. And then I put a little dot out here and a little dot out here. So again, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of data that I have represented in the graph. The median is the 4. The lower quartile is 2. My lower extreme is 1.